Hey y'all, so this is the tutorial for the DIY kids Halloween costume from Dollar Tree items. As you can see, I have 3 of the Mickey Mouse Minnie Mouse bags and I have 3 of a different type of bag. Of course, you want to take the tags off of your bags, but before I go any further, I would like to say that this design, the way that I am making it, should fit any child between the sizes of a 24 months to about a 40. Now, okay, back to the steps. So as you can see, I am taking my seam ripper and I am carefully picking apart each of the seams so that the front and the back of the bag with the trimming and the handles and the side part of the bag will all be separate now. It won't be an actual bag anymore. And don't throw anything away other than the ripped up threads that are going to be coming off of the bag. Every part of this bag you will need, or you should need. I said anywhere between a 24 months to a 40, but you can do this on the smaller child. Of course, you want to wash the material because the bag is partially made out of plastic or some kind of covering. You know, it's not actual normal breathable material. And anywhere above a 40, I would say that you'll need to modify it and maybe use more bags than what I'm using. But it's still definitely durable and it's definitely possible. It's even possible to do an adult one with some modifications. As you can see, I am folding my Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse design in half. This is going to be the front portion of her bodice. As you can see, I have cut out the armholes. And I basically eyeballed this part because she wasn't physically with me. She was, away for the weekend. But of course, you can measure the child's underarm circumference and get the circumference. And right here, I know that she's not made like a box. So I'm just giving it a little bit more of a shape so that it'll fit her body better. Now I'm taking my other sets of bags and I am going to, of course, take the tags off and repeat the same process. I'm going to use my seam ripper and I'm going to rip the sides and then I'm going to take the handles off as well. Now I was contemplating whether I wanted to use the side where the design is, but I decided not to. So I'm going to cut, as you can see that I'm doing right here, and that's going to be the back portion of her costume. Now, this fabric, and comment down below if you know what type of fabric or material this is. I'm not exactly sure if it's considered burlap or what, but it ravels very, very easily. So anytime during this project that you're messing with that particular fabric and you need to cut it for whatever reason, make sure that you use your sewing machine to zigzag stitch it. This is going to be very important, or else you're going to have ravels everywhere and you're probably going to eventually lose whatever shape that you already cut the material out of. What you're seeing me do right now is I'm taking my Dollar Tree bag that I had that I've already unstitched, and I am taking the center portion and I folded that in half. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it. That's going to be the 2 arms. That's all I did for the arms. Now, personally, I will say that when you see the end results, and I can show you that right here actually. Instead of leaving my sleeve boxy like it was when it was still a bag, I should have either made a pattern or just cut on the part that I want the sleeve to be and made a curve into it, or like a slant, so that you see this extra baggage under her arm, it wouldn't be there anymore. Now, I was always going for the Snow White type of sleeve dress, but it was kind of a hit and kind of a miss at the same time. So don't be like me, be better than me, is all I'm saying. Right here, as you can see, I was telling you about the zigzag stitch, or if you have a serger, of course, that's even better. But I'm just zigzag stitching so that it won't ravel. Later on, you'll see me come in and I'm going to make an extra cut. So any additional cuts that you do to this fabric, you're going to have to go back in and zigzag stitch it. It's going to save you a lot of time and save you from possibly having to go buy another bag and doing it over. Now, I was going back and forth with this step, but I decided that I wanted the bow on the Minnie Mouse to be like a accent piece or whatever on my daughter's neckline. So I am just going to be cutting that out, so that'll be a little bit of a more highlighted portion. Now, if you wanted it to be a little more sturdy, I guess I should have put something behind there because, it's almost just like paper. So it's very thin. Um, that's something that I could have done, but I did not. So you could if you wanted to. Now I'm just going to cut a little curve into the back portion of her neckline so that it'll have a little bit more of a shape and not just that boxing instead of being all on her neck. Again, remember, anything that you cut off of this particular fabric, you want to go back in with your sewing machine and zigzag stitch or serge it and lock that fabric into place. Now I am going in with the sleeve. Like I said, I did keep mine boxy, but you can cut yours into a better shape. And I have just gathered one portion of it. And this took me a long time since it's a new sewing machine and I haven't gathered on the sewing machine in a long time. This took me a while to figure out, but basically all you want to do is elongate your stitch on your sewing machine. Of course, you can hand stitch it like I have been known to do. But I wanted to try to do it on my sewing machine this time. So all I did was elongate the stitch on my sewing machine. I just pulled and got my gathered effect that I wanted. I would like to just pause right here for a second. I did not see where I recorded me sewing the bodice pieces of her costume together, but all I did was took my Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, the front portion that's going to be of her costume, and then the back portion of her costume, flip those inside out or on the wrong sides, or have the right sides touching the wrong sides out. And then I sewed the two sides pieces, and then I sewed where both of her shoulders should be at, leaving the neck out, her two arms out, and where her waist would be. And the second thing that I would like to say is I did not record this part, so sorry. But after I gathered the sleeves, I took the remaining portion of the straps that were on the bag, and then I put it on the arm sleeves, and that would be the canals that I needed, or the channels, or whatever you want to call it, for my elastic to go in to help build her puff sleeve look that I was going for on the bodice of this costume. So all I did with that is I took my right sides that I wanted. I mashed those two together. The straps already had a guide on them. So all I did was sew on the guide. And then I flipped that over. And right here is what you would see on the outside. So to attach the sleeve to the bodice, I carefully turn my bodice inside out. Then I also carefully turn my arm sleeve that's not yet sewn onto the bodice yet, but I carefully turned it inside out as well. Then I made sure that the gathering, I still had my strings attached to the ends, and then I took my gathered sleeves and I manipulated them so that the sleeve matched the bodice armholes. So if it needed to be longer, I carefully gathered or ungathered so that it'll be a little bit longer. And then, of course, I'm going to my sewing machine and sew that together. Now, right here, I'm going to attach my elastic to the ending of the arm sleeves so that it'll make the puff sleeve that I was looking for. Even though, like I said, I should have cut some excess out of my arm sleeve so that it wouldn't have that under puckle. But nonetheless, you're going to do that. Yours is going to look better. I am taking a bobby pin because I didn't have a safety pin. You would normally do it with a safety pin. But I took my bobby pin. I took my elastic. That's going to be the measurement of my child's arm, the circumference around her arm. And then I wrapped it around the bobby pin. I inserted it into the channel or the canal that I needed to be inside of. I went all the way around until it came out of the other side. And then I am sewing the end pieces as you see here. And re-sew, expose the elastic anymore. Now to me, this is the easy and the fun part. So with the remaining of the two bags that I still had left, the Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse bags, I cut out only the Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse as you see. Now, the rest of I'm going to call them burlap. Now, y'all could tell me I'm wrong, but that's what we're going to call it right now. The rest of the burlap bags, I only cut out the portions that did not have the design. So, remember, I only had 3. I used one for my bodice, so I only had 2 left. So, after I cut those out, I also cut out the rest of the bags, and I left those whole to show the Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. And then the remainder hot pink portions of the Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse Dollar Tree bags that I had, I cut those in 3s. So the 3 sides would have been on the Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse bags. It would have been the 2 sides, the left and the right side, and the bottom portion. And you'll see some lines. I didn't record that either because I was still trying to figure out what I was doing at that point in time. But as you can see right here, I have my Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse design. Then I have one of the bags and I'm just going in and sewing it. Now what you saw me doing on the other video was I was taking my quote-unquote burlap and I sewed my cutout Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse onto it. Now I did use black thread at that point in time to sew it together, but obviously you can use whatever thread you would like. In total, I had a total of 2 cutouts that I put on the quote-unquote burlap. I had a total of 2 of the already designed Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse bags. And then a total of 4 of the hot pink side pieces that I attached to make my skirt as well. Now, personally, I should have put the Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse sewing design down further onto the burlap section or the cream colored section so that when I went to go do my channel to put my elastic, I would have had more room, but I didn't. So that's another error on me. And again, I'll be using my bobby pin, and then I wrapped it around again, and then that's the way that I attach my elastic into my skirt. Now, this one is a bit longer than just the little sleeves that I did, so I did end up going back in with a regular straight pin, and I carefully, now y'all, don't stick yourself, but I carefully attached the back portion of this elastic with it, and you're going to see me do it in a few seconds. And that just ensures that the elastic won't go all the way through the channels or the canals until you're finished. Y'all, we're almost finished. So if you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button and let me know that you've enjoyed this video. It takes a lot to record, make this stuff, and I just really and truly appreciate each and every one of you. Because this material does not have any bit of stretch to it, I have to be able to have some type of way for my child to get into it. So the way that we're going to do that is by cutting the back. Yes. So I decided to do a lace up, but of course you can decide to put a zipper or buttons or whatever other type of method that you want your child to be able to get in and out of the costume with. So I did, of course, decide to go with the lace up method. So what I'm going to be doing, I could have used eyelets. I actually do have some. But for the sake of everything or mostly everything coming from the Dollar Tree, I decided to use a function on my sewing machine that allows me to make a circle. So when I go to put those holes in for me to be able to lace up the costume, it won't allow the material to unravel. So I took my ruler, I measured out, and I think I did 2 inches per the next hole, and I did it on one side, then I did it on the other side. Now if you noticed, a little bit did change. I did end up adding trimming, and I did not record it. Ooh. But so the leftover trimming from the bags that I had, like I said, I kept that. So I kept that. I made the trimming for the costume, and it gave it a lot more pizzazz. Now I will say I should have had pink thread, but I didn't, so I just used what I had. And then the rest of it I used as my lace ups. And this is the finished product. Like I said, I'm not all that excited about the orange, but my daughter really does love the costume. I do plan on making another one very, very soon. So let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see that. If it comes out right, y'all. If you would like to see that or not. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching. Please, y'all, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, comment down below if you plan on making this costume. Or if you do decide to post it on your own, make sure you tag me so that I be able to see it. I love to see y'all finished products and y'all spin on the design itself. Until the next video, y'all. And remember, don't tell nobody. Tell everybody. Have a good one.